Welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Real quick, I want to talk about real quick a fault code, a particular fault code. Now, I'm starting to get a lot of questions concerning a fault code, a particular video that I shot. I have to say a good 2 years ago. Okay, it was concerning P0456, guys. It was on a Jeep Grand Cherokee, maybe a 2014 model. A lot of guys commenting that they replaced the ESIM. That's what the video is about, replacing the ESIM. In fact, the video was basically how to replace the ESIM, okay? But because it was attached to that fault code, P0456, a lot of people are now under the assumption that if you have a P0456, you basically need an ESIM. No, guys, no. So I want to make this video to clear some of that up, okay? What I suggest you do if you have a P0456, first of all, that code stands for small evap leak, okay? Very small, tiny evap leak. Those are particularly hard to find without some special form of tool, okay? You have to have a tool. Now, the evap system in itself is pretty complicated, okay? You got to understand what the evap system is there for. It was put there in place to, car makers have to find a way to store fuel vapors, all right? They do not want those vapors out in the atmosphere. So most car makers have what we call a vapor canister stored somewhere under the car, on the car, to store those vapors, okay? Now with anything, it can't stay full forever. So at some particular predetermined time, those vapors will come out of the canister and burn through the engine, cleaning, okay? So that's the whole point. We're trying to get anything that's coming out of the tailpipe to be burnt clean. All right, now we got that out the way. P0456, guys, do not mean your ESIM is bad. You do have to perform a test. The test that I like to perform is what we call evap system test. You can do that multiple ways, in the form of smoke or in the form of an air leak test. All right, your tests have to be done to determine if you need an ESIM. Now, the video was about how to replace the ESIM if you came up with that diagnosis that your ESIM is at fault. All right, let me clarify that. All right, P0456 do not necessarily mean you need an ESIM. Yes, you could very well need an ESIM, but you could also very well need other parts. That's where the testing comes in place, guys. You have to test it. You don't know. Now, this becomes, at this point, it's going to become, it may become a not do-it-yourself or not DIY job, okay? Because like I say, you have to have some tools in order to find a small leak. A large leak is a large leak can be visible. You can look around in your evap system and possibly find your evap system leak, but a small leak is very tiny and very complicated to find. But I needed to clarify that up. Also, on the 2014 models, guys, the Grand Cherokee I'm talking about, since I'm on that particular video, there's another thing that come into play. Guys, just say for instance you do a leak down test or a smoke test and you find absolutely no leaks, but you're coming up with P0456. There could possibly be a glitch in your computer. Yes, I'm gonna scroll this TSB by, okay? On some 2014 model Jeep Grand Cherokee, if you've done everything known to man and your test results are concluded that there is no leak, yes, you will have to get your PCM, powertrain control module, reprogrammed, okay? There's a glitch in the computer that will address that. All right, read this TSB. This is TSB, been out for a while now, okay? The only problem is everybody was having success finding their leaks, but in the event you have no leaks based on the test that you perform and you just can't find any leaks at all and you're still coming up with P0456 or the code returns, yes, at that point you will have to get your computer flash updated. All right, reprogram, so to speak. That's where we go in, yank out all the old software and put in new software, guys. That will be necessary to address that P0456. All right, that's all I have, guys. I just wanted to clarify something on that video. It does not mean ESIM is your problem just because you got P0456. The tests need to be run, and in the event it's concluded that you need an ESIM, this is how to replace it. All right, I'm gonna play some of the clips of that video on the end of this video, okay, so you can see if the ESIM is your problem on this particular car. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. They pretty much, ESIMs where they live, pretty much wherever your vapor canister is, your ESIM can't be far away. All right, guys, so that's all I have, guys. I just wanted to clarify that. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. If you got any questions, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. All right, before you ask, and I can get to those questions very quickly. But that small evap leak test is essential, it's crucial to making this a successful repair. All right, guys, that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel, man. I got this 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee with a check engine light on, P0456. As you know, that's a evap small leak. All right, so I already did the smoke test. You know, I recommend doing a smoke test when you're dealing with small leaks, okay? That's the best way to find them. And what we come up with, or what I came up with, is leaking at the ESIM area. So what I'm gonna do is put an ESIM on it, replace the ESIM and the O-ring that goes to the ESIM. Now the ESIM is attached to the canister, and depending on what kind of car you're working on, will determine its location. They're hidden all over the place, so you gotta find out where your canister is, and that will point you in the right direction of where the ESIM is. All right, so let's get this thing replaced, and I'll talk some more about it in a second. Let's go for it. All right, so let's get to it. First of all, here's my new ESIM and the O-ring. Do not forget to put the O-ring. Always use new O-ring. Now this particular ESIM is located on the left rear wheel area. So there it is right there. Bolted to the vapor canister. It's real simple to do. Simply, of course, unplug the electrical connector, remove the vent tube. Y'all know about the tab under the bottom of the ESIM. I can't get a picture of it, but it's a tab on it. You gotta pull upwards to release it from the canister, and then you simply turn it like that. At that point, you just remove it. Again, do not, I repeat, do not use the same O-ring, okay, because that's really probably was leaking all along. When I install my smoke machine, I can see smoke coming under the wheelbase area and find out the source of the leak was around in this area. So what we're doing is simply installing a new ESIM. Here's the tab I was talking about earlier. In order to remove it, you got to simply push that downward like that. So it will come out of this groove. That makes the installation and removal process very easy. So to install, simply set on here, find the groove part to it, and turn it clockwise until you're in the groove. Try to rock back and forth. If you can rock back and forth, you're not in the groove. If you can't, you're in the groove, so you're good to go. Simply install the vent tube back on and the electrical connector. Redo your smoke tech. Always verify that you repaired the car by retesting, okay? All right, there you have it, man. Like I said, there's nothing to it. Replacing the ESIM on this car. What do you do after you replace the ESIM? You should re-smoke test it, because you want to verify that the repair was a success. Okay, now we have ways we can do it in our scan tool, but I'd rather physically do the smoke test again and verify that it was fixed. And I re-smoke tested, no more leaks, and I deem this a successful repair. All right, now in a separate video, I'm gonna show y'all the smoke machine that we use and how we use it to find evap leaks. All right, thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.